Now, the other program that we're going to be using, or the other application we're going to be using, is Discord. First thing I want to say before anything is don't freak out. Okay, I know that anytime there's an idea of using a new program or a new application, people kind of get scared. And when the idea was first introduced to me to use Discord, I was resistant. But I found it's an incredibly effective form of communication. It does things that Zoom doesn't allow us to do. So before I explain Discord, though, I have to explain a little bit about how the staffing is going to work at our virtual conference. There are going to be two chairs, like a chair and a co-chair, whatever they want to call themselves. And then there'll be a rapporteur. A rapporteur is just somebody who's going to be helping out the chair to carry out their functions. And we're also going to have a host. The host is going to be somebody who's focusing specifically on any kind of technical issues that you might be having during the conference. So I'm going to switch over now to Discord. Now on Discord, what they have both text channels and voice channels. And if you look over on the left-hand side where my cursor is, you can see where it says GA1 announcements. This can be for anybody in the General Assembly, whether it's General Assembly 1 or General Assembly 2. And if you see that hashtag, what that hashtag means is that that is a text channel. You can only communicate via a text channel using text. GA Del Rap, that's going to be for delegates if for whatever reason they want to communicate with the rapporteur, and we'll explain that in more detail. Then GA Del Host, that's if the delegates want to communicate with the host, and I'll explain that more. And then down here, you can see each of these Unmod A, B, C, D, E, and F. These are voice channels. And so when you click into the voice channels, what happens is you can actually speak with other delegates. And so to explain that, I'm going to ask Vicky and Colin to go into GA1 Unmod A, if they can. So you can see Vicky in there. You can see Colin in now. Now their microphones are muted. I can also click in there. They will be able to speak with one another, just like the way I'm talking right now. And so if you're in an unmod, what Discord allows you to do is to go into these rooms, and you can have a Google Doc opened up where you're working on a working paper or draft resolution or something, and you can talk back and forth, and you can communicate with one another, even though you might be a long way away from one another. And then when the unmoderated caucus is over, the chair will communicate by putting something in the GA announcements text channel, and you'll be notified there's 1 minute left in the unmoderated caucus, right? There's, everybody return. And then everybody will return back to the Zoom conference, and we'll start over again back in Zoom.
If I may also add to that,
there we go.
Obviously, different committees will be using the applications differently. So for our GA and specialized committees, Discord is strictly used for, first of all, communicating with the rapporteur, going into unmods, and communicating with the host. Delegates will not be able to communicate directly with the chair, but the rapporteur will be able to express any concerns you might have or be your link to the chairs.
Exactly. And so one of the reason that you might want to contact the rapporteur, if you're having any problems having to do with your participation in committee, so let's say you've been raising your hand and the chair hasn't been calling on you, that might be a reason to contact the rapporteur on the text channel and say, the chair isn't calling on me, right? That is important information. If that's happening, we want to know about it. Or let's say you have to go to the bathroom, right? You can send something to the rapporteur and just say, hey, I'm not going to be available for, you don't have to explain the details, but you can say, I'm not going to be available for 5 minutes, right? That way, if you're coming up on the speakers list, the rapporteur can notify the chair, by the way, whatever country you're representing isn't going to be available right away. I'll let you know when they return. When you come back, send a text message or a text message to the rapporteur saying I've returned. We just want to laugh at the fact that because everybody's going to be in their own room, there's always interruptions and things that are happening that we need to deal with that, right? And I'm sure you guys have run into that in your classes. And so we want to make sure that we account for that all in the virtual conference as well. Now the host is a different issue. The reason that you would want to contact the host is if you're having some sort of technical problem. Maybe you're having trouble raising your hand, or maybe your connection is really bad. Let's say you can't figure out how to do something on the device, on your device or devices that you're using. Maybe you're having problems with the sound that you're hearing. You're getting an echo, whatever it happens to be. What you'll be able to do at that point is send a message on the text channel to the host. Let me go back to that. The Discord. That would be right there, the GA-Del host. You would send a message to the host on that channel and let them know what problem you're having. And depending on what the problem is, they'll either text back or they may invite you to a voice channel to talk with you about it. But they'll try and work it out as best they can in Discord, right? So to communicate to the chair about issues having to do with participation in the conference, that's going to be to the rapporteur. Technical issues, you'll communicate with the host. And then during unmoderated caucuses, you'll go into the unmod rooms, the voice channels, and you'll speak with delegates. And just like you would in a regular conference, you'll have a Google Doc opened up and you may be working with them and sharing it with one another. That's entirely up to you how you want to do that. Now, you're not required to use Discord to communicate with other people. If you want to text them, via the chat function, that's fine. If you want to try and do everything, via Zoom, that's fine. We found it to be a little cumbersome. That's why we decided to use Discord. But you're welcome to do that. If you have their phone number, you're welcome to call them on the phone. You can do whatever you want. We were just trying to create a platform where it would be as easy as possible for people to communicate, delegates to communicate with one another.
And I think one thing we highly suggest is, again, with the two devices, if you're using Zoom, we highly encourage you to use it on your computer, as it takes, it's a bigger screen, you can see people talk, and then if you use Discord, we advise you to use it on your phone in unmods, as that could also be easier. But however you want to do that is definitely up to you, but that's just our suggested method. Also, if you're talking on Zoom, for example, and you also have Discord open, we advise that you mute Discord so that you don't get like echoes and back channels as well.
Right, and the biggest thing is to practice using this. So if your team can practice just getting together on a Zoom channel and doing this, let us know. We can give you access to the Discord channels, and you can practice going back and forth, because we know sometimes there are issues with microphones and how they function using two different applications. It's just a matter of practice, and the key is to practice before the day of the conference. This will decrease the likelihood that we're going to have technical problems, but we fully expect to have them, which is why we have assigned a host to every single committee, and they are familiar with a variety of devices. So don't feel bad if you have a technical problem, because we fully expect that to happen, especially in the first virtual Model UN conference.
Furthermore, we have a tech team that's working tirelessly most weekends and during the week as well to troubleshoot problems that might happen during the conference and then find solutions. Also, we're offering the option of visiting your classes via Zoom and sending a representative from our tech team to troubleshoot problems that you guys might specifically have within your class, and see how we can help accommodate and promote the best experience in a conference. So we highly encourage people to take us up on that offer. And we would also in depth help you set up Discord, set up Zoom. And I think before the conference begins, we would ask that each school sends a list of their delegates' Discord information, so we add them to the channel before the conference begins.
Absolutely. And I will be in touch with your faculty advisors or head delegates to ensure that we get that information as well. So I hope this has been useful, and there are going to be more videos to come where we're going to explain the rules of procedure and how we're going to run the conference and other information that might be helpful. So thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to seeing you at COCMUN 2020. Thank you very much.